Hello, curious people. The second season of the Umbrella Academy came out less than 2 months ago, and the fans are already asking and begging for information for the third one. And rightly so, ever since the show came out, it's been everywhere, as has one of its main actors, Robert Sheehan. Despite the fact that the actor has appeared in over 50 different productions, it was only when he landed a role in the hit Netflix series that his popularity truly skyrocketed on an international scale. But what were the reasons for the actor to nearly decline the role of a lifetime? What are the reasons behind his flashy and unique styles? And did he have feelings for the writer of the comic books the series is based on and My Chemical Romance frontman Gerard Way? Stay with me to find out more about the actor as well as any news on the third season of the show. But before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Robert Sheehan was born on January 7th of 1998 in Portallao in Ireland. He was a very musical child that was interested in performing. He learned how to play the banjo, bodhran, and the spoons, and yes, they are a pretty unusual choice. Do excuse me while I look at how he actually plays the spoons. His interest in acting started when, at the age of 12, his mother took him to an open audition for the drama film Song for a Raggy Boy. Luck was on his side when he got the role, and much later he would go on to say that the whole experience was very enjoyable, and afterward he began acting in theatrical productions. Despite developing a keen interest and passion for acting, when it came to thinking about the future, Sheehan was a realist and was unsure whether being an actor would be a sustainable career choice. Therefore, he enrolled at the Galway Mayo Institute of Technology, where he studied film and television. In the meantime, he was still working on his acting career, and due to the filming of a movie titled Summer of the Flying Saucer, he had to miss several months of the academic year. And in an interview with the Irish Times, Robert confessed that he failed his first year terribly, and that he was actually thankful that he got kicked off the course. Since his acting debut, he appeared in several productions. Robert became a regular on an Australian TV program, Foreign Exchange, a historical fantasy series, Young Blades, as well as a drama show, Rock Rivals. Though it wasn't until the hit British E4 series Misfits in 2009 that he gained popularity and recognition. The plot revolves around a group of youths in a community service who gain superpowers, and Sheehan's character, Nathan Young, gains the power of immortality. Despite leaving after the second season, the actor looks back fondly at the time he spent working on it, and in an interview with Digital Spy, he revealed that the 5 main characters were encouraged to be irresponsible and silly, and that the producers never chastised them for it, and according to him, that really helped with the spirit of the show. He also added that it was a glorious time for him. Though all good things must come to an end, and as I said before, he ended up leaving before the show had ended. And speaking about his decision to quit the Irish broadcaster, RTE, he explained that he was happy to leave and that at the time he was a restless fella who was trying to go off and do as much different stuff as possible. And it was his decision to play a multitude of different roles that weren't really similar to each other, and his desire was to not be typecast. That nearly meant that he would not have portrayed the role of Klaus on the Netflix's hit series, The Umbrella Academy. And this naturally brings us to talk about the show. Just a word of warning, there might be some spoilers for the second season for those who have not watched it. So just a basic plot recap, the show focuses on a dysfunctional group of kids, all with varying levels of superpowers, who had been raised by an eccentric billionaire whose emotional investment in them is reflecting in giving them numbers rather than names, such as Sheehan's character being number 4, but he calls himself Klaus. The show is based on a comic book series written by Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance. Though a fun story, despite knowing very well who Way was, Sheehan had no idea that it was he who wrote the graphic novel. He said that when his agent Rose called him and said, "It's a Netflix show adapted from a comic book of one of the My Chemical Romance brothers, of course." It was not a member of the British electronic duo that wrote it, but the leader of an American rock band, MCR. And in an interview for the Irish Times, the actor did reveal that he now has since become better acquainted with the singer. So much that when his Airbnb in LA fell through, he ended up staying with the creator of the comic, and that they played Dungeons and Dragons together. And now that I say this, never in my life did I imagine I would want to play D&D with Gerard Way, but here we are. What about you, Curious? Are any of you fans of the band? Now, speaking of his decision to not get typecast, that decision nearly cost him the role that boosted him to international fame. And during an interview with TV Insider, the actor revealed that choosing roles feels a bit cagey and pressuring at first, especially when it comes to TV shows. His reason was that they are only given the script for the first episode, and based on that they have to make a decision that could affect them for like the next 5 years. And this was his reasoning to be hesitant when it came to accepting the role on the show of the Umbrella Academy. The character of Klaus is fraught with internal conflict and overridden with dark tendencies. His hedonistic and haphazard character profile is what was another concern for Robert. Quite similar to his Misfits character, right? In the same interview, Sheehan explained that he didn't want to veer too close to Nathan territory because that would most likely lead to the future typecasting, which he tried to avoid at all costs. Though while both characters share obvious similarities such as superhuman abilities, sarcastic tendencies, and sharp wit, their internal identities remain different. While his Misfits character was a bit more cold and callous, Klaus's character is a bit softer. Though outwardly he does portray nonchalance, it is a merely cover-up to suppress his past trauma. But as you can tell, it is all good that ends up well because clearly the actor made the right decision in the end. Can you imagine any other actor doing such a good job at portraying the character as Sheehan does? Now the character of Klaus is very much beloved by many, especially the LGBTQ+ community, who are happy to get some good and positive representation. And the reason it works so well? Because it's not really all in your face but subtle and natural. And unlike in most cases with a queer character, their orientation often becomes their central identity trait, whereas in the Netflix show it is part of the plot but it's not the center. For example, the first time that Klaus's orientation was mentioned was when he was told that his brother Five about his longest relationship and how it was with a man. And then later, when he told Diego about the person he loved, he assumed Sheehan's character meant a woman, but Klaus ended up correcting him saying it's a man, not to mention the fact that he often wears skirts and his siblings never criticize him for it. This led to fans to label the character as gay, but it seemed that Robert isn't a fan of labels. In an interview for Digital Spy, he revealed that when they started with the first season, they did not plan for Klaus to have any gay tendencies, but that it happened as they developed the character. When speaking with The Independent, he said, and I quote, that this character is not necessarily a man, he's kind of just this creature that's not bound by any traditional societal norms, and that he just sort of is. He also stated that he himself considers his character to be pan. He did talk about how the decision to portray Klaus the way he did led him to be able to connect with the fans on a profound level. Speaking with The Independent, he said that when he met fans at a few events to promote the show in America, he was faced with a beautiful outpouring of emotion from younger people, especially from the LGBTQ+ community, that said that his depiction of his character really helped him to come out, and he added the fact that people derived great meaning from it. He couldn't ask for a better thing as an actor. And looking at the actor himself as well as his fashion choices, more on which in a moment, fans began to question his orientation as well, and when asked about it in an interview, he said that he was straight but that he didn't question it. Robert revealed that he had a couple of experiences when he was younger with men to see if it did anything for him, but found out that it didn't. Though Sheehan did say that when he was a teenager and My Chemical Romance was going strong, the band's frontman confused him as he questioned himself by asking, "Am I attracted to him?" It's funny to think that one day he'd be working alongside of him. Rob himself was in a relationship with the Mummy actress Sofia Boutella. The couple got together in 2014 after meeting on the set of the movie Jet Trash in Goa, India. But after the movie ended, the couple soon realized that with conflicting schedules, it would be difficult to make it work, and in a 2018 interview with Hot Press, Sheehan revealed they broke up, though he never exactly said when or what the reasons for it were. Despite not being a part of the LGBTQ society, the actor constantly breaks gender norms, which now brings us to his fashion sense. On screen, his character has no problem with wearing his sister's blouses and skirts, and it seems that in real life the actor has the same outlook. He enjoys experimenting with different styles, and he has worn some incredible outfits for the red carpet events when promoting the show. He explained that people should never feel less restricted by labels such as menswear or womenswear. He revealed that he himself mostly buys ladies' clothes and that he thinks that first and foremost it's important to be yourself. So while it's clear that Robert shares a similar openness to fashion as his on-screen character, let's look at news about the third season that is already being eagerly awaited by fans. Though Netflix is yet to confirm whether it will renew it or not, Season 2 has pretty much caught up with the action in the comics, but seeing how the show ended, the cliffhangers provide a glimpse of what could we expect from the next one. But seeing as The Umbrella Academy is one of Netflix's top shows, it is safe to say that fans should be able to expect more from the creators. As for when it could possibly be released, we're most likely looking at fall of 2021. Season 1 came out in February of 2019, and Netflix announced its renewal in April that same year. And according to Umbrella Academy star Tom Hopper's Instagram, filming for the second season wrapped up in November of 2019, but it didn't air until July 2020. That could be likely due to the studio closures due to the pandemic, which would have slowed down the post-production. Toronto, where the show was filmed, is now allowing studios to resume filming. So if we do get a third season, seeing that it takes about a year to produce everything, fall 2021 seems like a good guess. So my curious friends, we all better be patient with waiting for more news, so in the meantime, let me ask you, how many of you have seen The Umbrella Academy? Have you read the comics that it's based on? What are your thoughts on Sheehan's portrayal of Klaus? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow.